Bend wakes up slow. Tourists chase snowmelt lattes. Locals check the river level and email. I take the corner table at the cafe off Greenwood, the one with the wobbly chair and a chipped white mug the barista keeps for me because I don't complain. I'm 39, logged in by 8, camera off, earbuds in. My husband Ethan is in Denver this week. He says a client needs hand-holding. He says it like the flight was his idea of fun. I watch people more than I should. That morning, I'm half inside a spreadsheet and half inside the coffee smell when a guy at the counter says, "Large drip, room for cream." And the way his voice lands makes me look up. The jawline is familiar, the brow, the way he stands like he's waiting for trouble to leave first. He's older than the last time I saw him in photos. More defined, less boy, but I can see the father in him right away. He doesn't see me. He takes his cup, turns, and stops when his eyes meet mine. No drama, just a click of recognition that doesn't need help. "Maya," he says, and I nod. He sets the cup down on my table like we agreed to meet. "I'm Noah." Up close, he has Ethan's smile without the performance. "I figured we'd run into each other eventually," he says. "I didn't think you'd still be here." "Same," I say. "I didn't think I'd still be waiting." The words arrive before I edit them. He watches me like he's filing them under something important. "Do you have a minute?" he asks. "I'm in town for a short documentary." People who feel stuck. Not tragic, just paused. I gesture at the extra chair. "You found the right city." We all hike and postpone. He laughs, quick and genuine. He sets his bag down. There's a small camera inside, not fancy, clean lenses. He tells me he grew up in Portland, then LA, then back again, that he freelances on crews and pays rent by editing weddings. "Short films are the vitamins," he says. "Nobody buys them, but I start twitching without them." "Does Ethan know you're here?" I ask. "He knows the city," Noah says. "He doesn't always know where I am." I think of Ethan's calendar links, the way he blocks out time zones like countries he plans to conquer. "He travels a lot," I say, neutral. "Yeah." Noah takes a sip. "He's good at the things he cares about." The line sits between us. I change the subject. He asks what I do. I tell him project management for a health app that prides itself on nudges and streaks. I don't say I sometimes want to log a feeling and get a refund. Noah looks at my mug. "That crack looks dangerous," he says. "It survived 2 winters," I say. "So have I." He asks if he can film a few seconds of B-roll. Just hands on a laptop, cafe motion, nothing usable without permission. I agree. The lens blinks. My fingers type nonsense. The world keeps moving. He's efficient in the way of someone who has packed gear in the rain. We talk about Bend. I draw a map on a napkin. Pilot Butte at sunset. The bookstore on Bond that still orders obscure essay collections. The spot by the footbridge where kids jump in June. He listens and doesn't interrupt. When he smiles, I see the boy Ethan mentioned once in a tight voice after 2 beers. Stubborn, bright, too much like me. My Slack pings. My boss asks for a deck update by noon. I've got to earn my insurance, I say. Noah stands. I should scout locations. I'm staying on the east side for a bit. My place isn't ready. "Welcome to Bend and its contractors," I say. I don't ask where he's staying. I don't want to sound like I'm checking. He hesitates. I know this is weird. I didn't plan a meet the stepmom scene. I'm not great at scenes, I say. I'm better at lists. He grins. "Can I text you?" "About locations or coffee recommendations." "Sure." I type my number into his phone. He doesn't add an emoji or a nickname, just Maya. It feels practical. It feels like a door that isn't dramatic, just open. He picks up his cup. "I'll see you around." "Probably," I say. He leaves. I watch him cross the street, the way he checks both ways even when cars stop for him. My laptop fans whir. The barista calls out someone's turmeric latte. I open the deck and start moving boxes around. The cafe noise steadies me. The cracked mug holds. At 8:47 a.m., my phone buzzes. "Unknown number, good to see you today. I'll send you the doc log line when it's solid." I type back, "Good to see you too." And the line was already solid. 3 dots appear, then vanish. I close my messages and return to work. Outside, the light gets sharper. I make a note to buy a new mug, and no, I won't. Ethan texts a thumbs up from an airport lounge and says he'll be back. End of next week, probably. I answer with a safe travel light and set the phone face down on the counter. 10 minutes later, Noah shows up with a single duffel and a pack of tortillas, like a peace offering. My sublet needs paint, and the landlord swears tomorrow, he says, standing in the doorway like he's waiting for permission. Can I crash a couple nights? I'll keep out of your way. Take the guest room, I say. Sheets are clean. The lamp flickers. Jiggle the switch. He gives a small nod, carries his bag down the hall, and returns, sleeves pushed up. Can I help with dinner? Only if you like lemon, I say, pulling a chicken from the fridge. He washes his hands, lines up a cutting board, and we settle into a workflow without commentary. Garlic, thyme, the kind of cooking that fills a room in a steady way. I ask him to pour wine. He picks a bottle from the rack, like he's guessing the right answer on a quiz and gets it right. We eat at the narrow table by the window. He asks about my job. I say it's a lot of decisions about features no one will notice. He tells me about a shoot where groom fainted and the band kept playing because the deposit was non-refundable. We laugh, not forced, just present. When I ask about school, he says Portland State, film and media. I walked in a wrinkled gown because the iron broke, which is on brand. He cuts a piece of chicken, chews, and adds, Ethan didn't come. He said he tried. Flights, meetings, something about quarterly numbers. I set down my fork. I didn't know. Mom said not to wait on speeches, he says. She was right. He wipes his mouth with a napkin and looks at me, not challenging, just measuring. He's generous with strangers. He buys coffee for TSA. He's less good at showing up where it's not billable. That's unkind and probably accurate, I say. Both things can be true. We clear the plates together. He hums a melody I don't recognize while he rinses. I reach past him with a stack of bowls and my hand bumps his. It's a small contact, ordinary, and then not. I don't pull back. He doesn't either. We're both deliberate about everything else, and this is the opposite. He looks at my face like he's waiting for a signal I don't know how to send. I break first. I'm fine, I say, too fast. He dries his hands, sets the towel down, and chooses his words. You don't have to pretend everything's fine all the time. It lands in a place I keep tidy for survival. I busy myself with the sink. It's a habit, I say, cheaper than therapy. He leans on the counter. Some habits cut off the air. We move to the living room with our glasses. He scrolls through location notes on his phone, asks if I know a pedestrian bridge with clean lines for an opening shot. I draw another map. He records me describing the route, says he wants the cadence of a local for temp audio. The camera light blinks, and I'm suddenly aware of the shape of my mouth. You don't have to keep it, I say. I don't keep anything without consent, he says, work or otherwise. We finish the bottle in a pace that doesn't feel like a bad idea. The rain starts soft against the eaves. He talks about his mother, how she taught him to buy flowers for no event. I tell him about the early years with Ethan, road trips with podcasts and cheap motels, the way we used to split gas station pretzels like it was a ritual. He stands to put the dishes in the washer. I follow with the glasses. When I reach for the lower rack, our shoulders meet. It's nothing dramatic. No clatter, no gasp, just contact and a long second of letting it be. I should edit, he says, a little hoarse. I have a deck to fix before morning. He nods. Thanks for the bed. And the map. He heads down the hall. I stay in the kitchen and breathe through the urge to rewind the last hour and also the urge to play it forward. My phone buzzes on the counter, a calendar alert for Ethan's flight tomorrow to somewhere else. I turn it off. The dishwasher hums. I wash the lemon smell from my hands and leave it there. Ethan calls while I'm spreading peanut butter on toast. The speakerphone picks up his airport voice. Smooth, distant, practiced. Morning, May. Just checking in before the meeting. Might be staying in Denver a bit longer than planned. How long? I ask. A week, maybe more. There's a client with complicated taxes. I can hear the shuffle of papers that don't belong to him. You're okay with that? I'll manage if I say. Good. I'll send the itinerary later. The line clicks, and that's it. No questions, no warmth, just logistics. I stare at the counter, crumbs scattered like they're evidence of something. Noah's sitting at the table with a bowl of cereal, headphones around his neck. He doesn't even try to hide that he heard. He always sounds like he's doing you a favor, he says, not looking up. That's not fair, I reply too quickly, but the sentence hits a nerve. He shrugs and spoons another bite, the metal clinking against the bowl. The silence stretches just long enough for the air to change. I grab my jacket. You wanted to film in the park today, right? He nods. Weather looks decent till noon. Let's go. By 10, we're at Drake Park. The Deschutes is calm, and the air smells like wet pine. He sets up his camera by the benches while I sip from a thermos. Could I get a few shots of you walking by the water? He asks. No dialogue, just movement. You don't have to look at the camera, I hesitate, then laugh. You're making me part of the film now? It's just for framing, he says, but his eyes hold mine a second too long. You look honest when you think no one's watching. The words shouldn't matter, but they do. I start walking, hands in pockets, pretending the camera isn't following. The wind lifts my hair. The sky threatens rain. He's good at what he does. Quiet focus, steady movements, no wasted energy. When I circle back, he's adjusting the lens. You were right, he says. This town moves at half speed, like everyone's waiting for something they can't name. That's Bend, I say. Half therapy, half denial. He laughs, packs up the gear, and we head toward the car just as the drizzle starts. By the time we pull out of the parking lot, the rain's turned heavy, thick drops smearing the windshield. He parks near the overlook and kills the engine. The sound of rain fills the space, steady and loud. Neither of us moves. He looks over, studying me the way he studies light. You ever think about leaving? Sometimes, I say, but then I remember I built a life here, even if it's not exactly what I imagined. He nods. I get that. His hand rests on the console, close enough that I can feel the heat of it. I don't know who moves first, but soon his fingers brush mine. Light, uncertain. I don't pull away. I tell myself it's harmless, a reflex, a mistake that doesn't count because no one saw it. But it does count. It counts because I don't move. The rain grows louder, hitting the roof in waves. For a few minutes, we just sit there. No words, no explanations, just the sound of something relentless. When it slows, I reach for the door handle. We should head back, I say, voice flat. You've got enough footage. He nods, starts the car. Neither of us mentions the moment. We drive home with the windows fogged, the air thick with what we're pretending didn't happen. Nothing happened, and somehow everything did. The storm hits harder than the forecast promised. Power lines sway, branches slap the roof, and the house clicks into darkness like someone pulled a curtain over it. I find a candle in the drawer, light it, and the kitchen turns gold and small. Noah's still up, sitting at the table with his laptop open but dead. Wi-Fi's out, he says, pushing the screen away. Whole neighborhood's down, I answer, pouring the last of the wine. We might as well wait it out. He gestures toward the bottle. Pour me half? I hesitate, then do it. We sit across from each other, storm soundtrack in the background. The candle flickers between us. He talks first, about a project he shot in Arizona. Two ranch brothers who hadn't spoken in a decade until the camera showed up. Sometimes people only tell the truth when they think it's being recorded, he says. Maybe that's the only way they can stand to hear it, I say. Once removed. He studies me. You ever been recorded? Too many Zoom meetings, I joke, but he doesn't smile. The thunder rolls close enough to shake the table. I pour a little more wine, enough to blur the edges of caution. Ethan cheated once, I say, before I even know I've said it. I found the text 2 years ago. We talked, I forgave, and we kept going because starting over looked harder than staying. He doesn't look shocked, just sad. So that's loyalty for you? Staying even when it's dead? I take a sip. It was survival. Does it feel like surviving? He asks. I meet his eyes. It feels like forgetting in small doses. The lightning flashes again, a white cut through the window. I stand, collect the glasses, try to pivot to something ordinary. We should conserve candles, I say. You always change the subject right before it hurts, he says quietly. That's called experience. He gets up too, slower, deliberate. The distance between us shrinks in a way that feels both impossible and inevitable. He smells like rain and soap, his shirt slightly damp. You should go to bed, I say, voice steady but thin. He doesn't move. Maya, don't, I interrupt, but I don't step back. It's not cinematic. No thunderclap or swelling music, just the soft collision of two people who have run out of excuses. I kiss him because I want to know if the emptiness can fill with something else. For a second, it almost does. Then I stop, step away. This never happened, I whisper. He nods once. Okay. I walk to my room and close the door, my heartbeat louder than the storm. I don't sleep. Through the floorboards, I hear faint guitar strings. The song from last night's cooking, the one that made us laugh when we got the timing wrong. Now it sounds slower, unfinished like both of us. The power's back. The house smells like coffee and wet cedar. If not for the way I can't meet Noah's eyes, you'd think everything returned to normal. He's at the table editing footage, headphones on, focused. I cook eggs, pretending it's just another morning. When I slide a plate his way, he nods, polite, distant. We talk about nothing. Camera batteries, the price of gas, the dog next door that barks at mail trucks. Every word is a cover. By noon, we're filming again, this time for one of my clients. He helps set up a quick B-roll shoot for a product demo in the living room. We act like coworkers, efficient, professional, almost convincing, except when our hands brush while passing the tripod, or when he adjusts a light and I catch the reflection of us both in the window, too close, too aware. When Ethan calls around 4, it's from the road. His voice is cheerful in a way that doesn't match the static behind him. Got a break between meetings, he says. Thought I'd surprise you. I'm flying home tonight. My stomach drops. Tonight? Yeah, I missed you, he says automatically, the kind of line that fits anywhere. Noah's packing up gear in the corner. He doesn't look over, but I know he hears. When Ethan walks through the door just after 9, he smells like hotel air and aftershave. He hugs me too tight, too long, the way someone marks ownership. This place feels smaller, he says, dropping his suitcase. Or maybe I just forgot what quiet sounds like. Noah steps out from the hallway, hands in pockets. Hey, Dad. Ethan's expression shifts. Surprise first, then quick recovery. Didn't know you were in town this week. Yeah, filming a doc. That's great. Ethan turns to me smiling. Maya didn't mention you were staying here. I was helping with lighting, Noah says easily. Didn't want to bother you. Ethan laughs, that public relations laugh he uses in client meetings. Well, good to see you helping around here. Maybe some of your creativity will rub off. He kisses my temple, too close to Noah's line of sight. I feel the performance in every gesture. After dinner, Ethan insists on opening wine and talking about his crazy week. The stories are polished. Dinners with clients, golf invites, the rhythm of someone who's told these lies before. Noah listens, but says little. When I start clearing plates, Ethan follows me into the kitchen, rests a hand on my hip. You've been busy, he says softly. The place looks great. I nod, focusing on the sink. It's fine, he lowers his voice. You've been quiet lately. Maybe I ran out of small talk. He chuckles, squeezes my waist like he's reminding me of a rule. Don't be like that. Later, when the house is quiet, I hear him on the phone in the bathroom. His voice is low but steady. Yeah, he says. She still believes I'm in Denver most weeks. The faucet runs for a second, then silence. I stand in the hallway, the weight of those words pinning me in place. I don't cry. I don't even move. I just register the sound of the lie, finally becoming obvious. When I step outside for air, Noah's already on the porch, hoodie up, staring into the dark yard. He turns when he hears me, but neither of us speaks. We just stand there, the space between us loaded with everything we can't say. Inside, Ethan laughs softly at something on his phone. The sound feels like the house itself is pretending the house is quiet again. Ethan left early for another client trip, suitcase wheels echoing down the driveway like punctuation. Noah's been gone all afternoon, editing downtown. I tell myself I'm grateful for the space, but the air still feels thick, like the walls remember what happened. When I go to close his laptop on the kitchen table, the screen wakes. A paused video fills the display. Street footage, handheld. It takes a second to register. Ethan, stepping out of a restaurant, head down, holding hands with a woman I've never seen. The shot is steady, deliberate. Noah's voice off camera says, "You sure you want that angle?" Someone answers, "Yeah, it's fine." Then the clip cuts. I stare until the screen goes black. My pulse spikes, not from surprise but confirmation. He's still lying, still performing the same script. What I don't understand is why Noah filmed it, or why he left it here, open. When he finally comes in around 6, damp from the mist, I'm still at the table. I tilt the laptop toward him. "You shot this?" He drops his keys, hesitates. "I wasn't looking for it. I was getting street shots for the doc. They walked out right in front of me. You could have deleted it. I thought you should see it." I search his face for cruelty and don't find any, just exhaustion. "You think I didn't already know?" I ask. "I think you keep trying not to." The words land heavier than they should. I close the laptop. "Why show me now?" He leans against the counter, arms crossed. "Because watching him lie to you in real time made me angry. And because I don't know if I'm better. Maybe I just wanted to break something before it breaks me. His honesty scrapes something raw in me. You don't get to fix this by making it worse." "I'm not fixing it," he says. "I'm admitting I'm part of the mess." He steps closer, not enough to touch, but enough to feel. "Maybe we're the same," he says quietly. "We want to be loved, even if it's wrong." The line cracks something open. My chest tightens, not from desire, but recognition. I move first, closing the distance, and when we kiss, it's not tender. It's a reflex against emptiness, an act of shared damage. It lasts only a few seconds, long enough to taste regret before it cools. When I pull back, he looks away. "That's not what I wanted," he says, voice low. "Yes, it is," I say. "You just thought it would feel different." He grabs his jacket, mutters, "I need some air," and leaves before I can respond. The door shuts softly, like he's apologizing. I stand there a long time, staring at the dark screen of the laptop, Ethan's face frozen in memory. My reflection overlays his. Two people pretending to be in control. Night settles in, slow. I make tea, don't drink it. The fridge hums, the kind of sound you only hear when you're alone. By midnight, Noah still hasn't come back. I leave the porch light on, not sure for whom. Noah comes back just after sunrise. He looks like someone who's been driving all night. Eyes red, sweatshirt wrinkled, camera bag over one shoulder. He stands in the doorway for a moment, waiting to see what version of me he's walking into. "I'm leaving today," he says. I nod, already knowing. "Back to Portland?" "Yeah, Mom's expecting me." He looks around the kitchen, the same room where we've said too much and not enough. "I'll grab my stuff." He heads down the hall. I pour coffee, not offering him any. When he returns, he lingers by the counter, hands shoved in his pockets. "I shouldn't have stayed this long," he says. "Probably not. I didn't mean to make things worse for you." "You didn't have to." They were already worse. He almost smiles at that, small and tired. He won't change, you know. My dad, he just rotates the story until it sounds new. I stopped expecting anything new from him a long time ago, I say. He studies me, maybe trying to memorize the version of me that's finally done pretending. So what now? I'll figure it out. He nods once. For what it's worth, I wasn't lying about the film. It's called Loyalty, or something like it. I finished the first cut last night. I raise an eyebrow. Already? I work better when I can't sleep. He sets a flash drive on the table. "You'll get the link later. Don't worry, it's not some exposé. Just truth spliced together." He hesitates, then adds, "There's a shot of you from the cafe." I kept it because you looked real. Use whatever you need, I say. I'm done hiding. He gives a small nod, shoulders the bag, and leaves without a hug. The door closes softly, and for once, I don't feel the urge to follow. By evening, the house is empty again. Ethan's calendar shows a flight to Denver, same as always. I don't bother texting him. Instead, I sit at the kitchen table, the same chipped mug, the same crack still holding together. My laptop pings. An email from Noah. Loyalty or something like it. Private link. No subject line, no message, just the title and a password. I click play. The film opens with our town's quiet streets, the sound of wind through pines, then a voiceover, his. Some people live on pause. They call it loyalty because it hurts less than naming what it really is. Clips roll. Strangers waiting at bus stops. A woman stirring coffee. A man looking at his phone outside a hotel. Then me, hands around that cracked mug, eyes somewhere else. Another line follows. Sometimes love isn't about who you choose. It's about who finally makes you tell the truth. My throat tightens. The video fades to black. For a long time, I just sit there, listening to the refrigerator hum, the ordinary sound of a life still running, even when it shouldn't. Then I close the laptop and go upstairs. I pack a single suitcase, jeans, sweater, camera, toothbrush. Nothing sentimental. When I zip it, the noise feels final in the quiet house. I don't leave a note. Ethan wouldn't read it. Noah already knows. Outside, the air smells clean after rain. The porch light I left on 2 nights ago still burns, a small mistake I decide to keep. I put the suitcase in the car, start the engine, and watch the house in the rearview mirror until it's just a shape against the trees. This isn't running. It's the first honest move I've made in years.